Yeah, there's
How do you do that?
there's been a newsletter that was sent out.
How do I get on the list?
You are on the list if you signed in.
But it would take congestion out of this interchange, which is getting to be serious. Even though they're modifying that interchange, there are some serious.
But it's still not taking it away from Des Moines. I mean, all those people are commuting to Des Moines. They're not commuting over to, east.
Do you have mailing lists?
Yes, we do.
We're over closer to Polk City, and we've been to meetings.
We're just studying whether a facility should happen, or it could happen. There's no funding for construction available yet. So we're going through the process that's required by the government to determine is it reasonable and feasible to build a facility. And the US DOT, Federal Highway, and Iowa DOT. Thank you, ma'am.
Have you done where's the environmental studies?
We're undergoing those right now. We're looking at wetlands, species, prairie grass, those type of habitats, and we'll see what's in the area and what should we avoid, can we work around.
What's the benefit of creating a bypass when you got an interstate right here that's about 3 miles away?
Right now, what we're seeing is there's a lot of traffic hitting this mix master here, the big interchange
that they're redoing right now.
Yeah, that they're redoing, and with future traffic projections, even with what they're redoing, there's going to be a lot of capacity issues coming from getting through this area. So part of it is to try to take some of that traffic ahead of stream and bring it, that's going north, and bring it around to lessen congestion, safety issues. It's a specific item in the law that we have to look at agricultural impacts, and we do an analysis on how much farmland, if this facility was built, how much farmland we would impact and take out of production if that happened.
And that's part of the study, and that's part of what the results will give you information.
And if all these impacts add up to, we shouldn't do this, and there's not enough benefit in lieu of those impacts, then
cost-benefit analysis.
Essentially, then the project doesn't move forward.
That's true.
Okay. It's 2 miles from here?
Yeah, from the interstate 35.
Oh, okay.
And they said that's the reason why they can't use that, so they come in here and wipe out things.
It's still only, 2 or 3 miles.
Draw lines in the map eventually. There will be a lot of different routes, and the first thing we would do is with property. So there aren't really any lines yet. So I don't know why someone would say that your home would be.
I'm just saying, if it goes through here, that's crap for our property values. It wrecks what we have.
Thanks, but I want to eat 10 years from now.
The table over there has better traffic numbers than I do.
But that's the rationale for building.
And economic development.
Yeah, it's an economic development because they wouldn't put that in there unless they know that they're going to sell this land.
Right.
The developers.
Economic development is a...
Yeah, I mean, the county supervisor says they want to do that just so they can develop that whole area.
Primary rationale is economic development?
No.
There's no problem with traffic out here because there's nobody there.
It's to take it off.
Yeah, they just...
Around.
It's moving traffic that's in this area and shifting them to alleviate traffic on 35 and other arterials.
I mean, the environment is going to change when they start moving the traffic out there.
Well, what they're going to do is move you 2 miles this way or move you 3 miles from 65 because it's going right in the middle.
Yeah.
Why don't you just add more lanes to 35?
We will look into that. That is a potential alternative as well.
This is the environmental station. Has somebody ever calculated what the carbon footprint of a project like this is?
We haven't yet.
That would be a very interesting thing to do. I mean, not just the construction, but the economic development that follows, and all the
Cars
buildings
that
that'll be built, and heating and cooling them and lighting them for the life of. I mean, the life of this road would be how long?
If you don't build there, it's going to move over. It's going to stay over here. Part of it, what they're doing is shifting traffic from here to there, 1, 2 miles.
Because they could have used the Elkhart Road, though, and they're not going to do that because it's too close to 35.
That makes too much sense. You've got roads existing there to do that already. Just widen them.
And that'll be something that we'll look at is the existing road network and potentially widening those roads out.
I get the impression from looking at the comprehensive plan that widening existing roads complicates access for the people that live along those roads.
If you widen the road out enough, you may displace the people that live on those roadways.
Take someone's property, how far would you encroach on them before you'd say, hey, you're too close to the highway? I mean, how far does your house have to be sitting from the highway?
I don't know. It's not my decision. This project is being proposed, to relieve the traffic off of 35, off of 80, and some of the arterials as well. That's the primary goal of this phase. A second phase going to the west is to add a link to the circumferential route around Des Moines. Public input meeting.
There's written forms up there if you want to submit them in writing.
You fill out the form. What your thoughts are on the idea, concept.
Oh yeah, we'll have several more public meetings. We'll get all this information on the website and mailed out to people as well.
I want to build a new garage, I want to put a new roof on it, but I'm not going to put any money in my house, and you don't know you're going to get it back,
5 years ago.
Once this public hearing is done, we'll take a look at actual alternatives on where roadways could go within this corridor. Come back with a preferred alternative and have another public hearing, present those alternatives.
Like, when would that be? Hopefully next spring. Next spring of 2008. Okay, and then what's after that?
Then you still got to finish going through the rest of the environmental study, detailed study of that alternative route, and then get that approved. So timeline-wise, we're looking at 2010 probably before all this study is done.
For the study like that, yes.
It's the most efficient way to have a discourse with the public, you think?
We believe so, because when you do, a lot of people have questions that they have to sit through and listen through. Everybody's got their own concerns.
I would love to hear everyone else's questions, personally.
Well, that's why we provide the chance to do written comments. We put all those together and they become part of our document.
And then I can read them.
Yes.
You would take 15 or 20 minutes and have somebody stand up and address a group before you do something of this magnitude. I don't understand. I mean, it seems more like it's designed to limit the information that people get.
We found this to be the most effective way to do it.
Yeah,
for the Federal Highway Administration believes this is the most effective way to conduct these meetings as well. So.
This is just an idea of where they're going to go. You don't know.
You know doggone good and well they got their minds made up.
Well,
this is just easing everybody in.
Somebody could protest or something and they can go around it.
Well, I heard him talking about to one lady. They have a pretty big operation up in this area and somewhere in here. And they said, well, sometimes what they would do is they got the marsh here. What they would probably do is move the marsh. Sometimes it's easier to move the marsh than it is to move a big existing farm instead.
Yankee is developing this whole area up to here.
Yep.
And they've already bought all that.
It's been on the Des Moines Metropolitan Planning Organization's long-range plan for a number of years to, a beltway around the region. So it's been there a long time, but first looking at it.
I think we're going to have it's just where. That's my concern, I think it's going to happen because we've got the big wigs, the big businessmen that want this for development, for expansion of industry, and so I think it's going to happen.
Ultimately, once we do the preferred alternatives, present those to the public and take comment on those, we present that to the Federal Highway Administration, and they will approve
the next thing is
environmental impact
how does the guy get to I-35? So it's really more up to the federal government. That's an infrastructure question.